welcome. Well, I'm excited that this week we have one of my favorite colors, which is purple, and we're doing an all purple bundle for you, and I think you'll enjoy it. It's a little bit of, sort of, I keep on saying this, but spring is in the air here, and I'm so excited about it, and purple reminds me of spring. Anyway, so I am going to make a few different arrangements here today. I haven't practiced this, so you're going to be learning with me as I go. But I think the first one I'm going to do, I grabbed this big vase, okay? It's a big sort of globe type of thing. And I did have a plan for this one, luckily. What I want to do here is take some of my dendrobium orchids, which are these guys. Came all the way from Thailand, pretty cool. Love these orchids. I think these ones are called BOM, actually, like B-O-M. But what you can do with orchids like this is actually put them inside of a vase and show them off that way. So let me show you what I'm talking about. And let me get also some bear grass, which I want to use in here too. Great simple grass. What we're going to do is cut off the bottom part that's kind of got dirt and was a little junky, and take this and I'm gonna twirl it inside of my big vase here. Alright, sort of spinning it. I realize this kind of looks like a globe or something. Well, I think I mentioned that before, but it's like the earth with the grass flowing around it. Okay, then I'm gonna take my dendrobium orchid, pull off the bottom, snip it here, and I think it needs to be even shorter. Let's try this. Even shorter, all right. And I'm gonna turn it inside of the vase. So there's water in the bottom, so the stem is getting water, but so that the flowers are inside and this sort of clear part, and you can see them through the vase and you can look over it and see them too. So I'm gonna take another one and do the same thing over here. It's a really simple look, just like this. You could do it in sort of almost any sort of shape vase, but the idea is really that the flowers are inside of the vase for you to view this way, okay, not just with the flowers coming out. All right, I set that over to the side. Now for the next vase. I have a rectangular shape here, and I think what I'm going to do is use some of my aspidistra leaves. So again, hadn't planned this out, but let's just make it happen. I'm going to cut a leaf, spin it around here, stick it on in. All right, then set this aside. I think what we'll do is something I actually did in the video last week, but it's kind of a fun little trick if you haven't seen it before, is to take my other aspidistra leaf, poke it through, and stick it in the vase like this. So I'm using two of these guys here, sort of build this up. And another thing that's sort of similar, last week I made a heart out of the bear grass just because of Valentine's Day, but this week we can also just sort of stick the grass in there and let it be fluttery. I might save a few pieces here for my mini arrangement, which I'll set aside. So here we go. All right, fluttery grass. Okay, now I want to put my, what I call a line in here, which is something that goes upright, and this is my liatris. And what I'll do then is cut it off right here. I'm gonna take off any of the bottom leaves that are growing, that have grown on the liatris, and get rid of those, just so that the bottom of the stems are really clean. Chop them off, stick them in. Right now they're gonna fly all over the place. Don't worry, we'll get them figured out here in a second. Got those there. Then here's what I want. My sea foam status, okay? So there's two kinds of status. status, or there's multiple colors of them, but this is a really nice kind of status because it's kind of, it has these lateral edges and it's just a beautiful shades of purple. I love this stuff. It's coming from California. It's really neat, and I'm just excited we could get it. So anyway, I'm gonna trim it down here, stick it in like this. Right, sort of my backdrop, and I've got a second piece which I'm going to trim off just a tiny little bit here to save for my mini arrangement, and stick this guy in here. I don't know why it's called seafoam status, but it sort of, it does look a bit like some of the things you might find on the beach if you ever walked along the beach and there's you know, little sort of shells and all sorts of stuff. I feel like this looks similar to some of the stuff that you find washed up on the beach. But anyway, okay, here we go. Sticking this in now. Next up, I have 3 of my Dendrobium orchids, okay? So I have a few of these left over. I'm gonna pull off the water tubes, trim these up, and stick them right in here. I love these orchids. And you know, the orchids are a little bit more expensive, obviously, than other types of flowers. So when we put these in your bundles, you know, the bundles have to sort of slim down a little bit to have these guys, but I think it's worth it because they're so freaking cool. All right, here we go. Sticking these in. Then this Mylatris might do what they're supposed to do, maybe. Okay. We'll see. For now, I'm going with it. All right. Then I think this is looking good. You can never tell when you're doing it backwards, but yeah, that's about what I want. All right, I'm going to set that off to the side, out of the camera. Then I have a little bud vase, okay? So sometimes you can get these, you know, obviously we use small vases. This is a cool sort of skinny cylinder type of bud vase that you've probably seen in restaurants and other things. What I'm going to do with it is make, you know, a mini arrangement, which I always say is good for the bedside table or your bathroom or someplace. And one of the things I'm going to put in are these really cute mini monstera leaves. So I've used big monstera leaves in the past. These are little mini guys, and I just love them. And I'm going to trim them down, stick them in the vase, put in a touch of my bear grass. All right, and then I'm going to fill this with this cool Alstroemeria, which is also called Peruvian lilies. This one's called Napoli, which is kind of a fun name. And I'm just going to cut this down, stick them in. And the Peruvian lilies are really nice because they last for a really long time and they open up over time too. So if they come to you sort of closed up, don't worry about them. They're going to open up. And I've got 2 in here already. I'm going to put in a third. How's that looking? Good. And I've got my little touch of seafoam status that's going in the bottom here. Okay, and that's going off. Now, of course, what's happening is I realize that I have 2 more of these guys. And I think what I'm going to have to do is stick them into my large arrangement, which you'll get to see in the photograph. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this purple bundle, and thank you for watching, and I always thank you for being a subscriber.